Thank you, everyone, and good morning. It's good to be here today and back in what appears like heading towards a normal environment. So my role at the university is really to match industry and academics together and to try and use academic knowledge with industry to solve some of the challenges that we have. And in logistics, we know those challenges are significant. So what I thought I'd actually do, though, is my background really is in supply chain and spent 40 years working in supply chain. So I just wanted to share a little bit of my personal experience for 5 minutes or so. So evolution or revolution? Well, actually, I think it's probably a bit of both. And when you walk around the exhibition here, you get a sense that things are changing. Some of the vehicles look the same, but actually there's a big change, I think, going on underneath that we need to get ready with, and I'll explain what that is. I think the key to all of this change is data and digital. And what's happening? Well, we're actually starting to understand the value of data as a collective. Some organizations do this very well already, and they attach value to data. A lot of organizations, believe it or not, 99% of their data is not analyzed. They're collecting data, and they're actually doing absolutely nothing with it. So it's about collecting data, analyzing it, and then working out what data does for your business through intelligent products, for example. And when we start to move into self-identification using 5G, 6G, we need to think about data capacity, enhanced vehicle diagnostics, 3D printing, which could change manufacturing patterns totally in the next 20 years, and dynamic systems. And how do we put all of that together? And that really is the revolution, I think, that's happening. Along with that, we've got increases in home delivery, and we've got restricted transit zones, we've got new fuels, we've got different vehicles, we've got micro-mobility, we've got last-mile delivery, we've got driver shortages, and coming along the road, we've got semi-autonomy and autonomous trucks. So we're going to need all of that data to start to recognize how we deal with some of those challenges and keep the productivity up, and as Elizabeth says, the margins up in the market. When I started in distribution back in 1980 something or other, 82 I think it was, we relied on local knowledge and experience. And we had people who'd been in the business for years, they knew the customers, they knew where they were, they knew what they ordered every week. And we shared all of that. We did a bit of manual load planning, but it literally was sorting tickets out. So we really relied on knowledge and experience, and to some extent the wisdom of those people involved in the industry. The industry that I work for, Whitbread, logistics, saw a huge change in the late 90s towards a controlled, centralized distribution model. We had centralized warehouses, we knew what the stock was, and we developed a network like this of distribution houses and distribution points. And to some extent, we've relied on that model today. But there's some irony in that model. So if we take the example of the Cornish clotted cream produced in a dairy in Cornwall, it could well be that that clotted cream travels all the way up to Bristol to come back down to a customer who only might be 500 metres from the farm, because that's the way the system runs and that's what the software says we should do. So there's all sorts of inefficiencies built into this type of system. Now, if we're going to cope with all of that complexity, it's going to look something like this. We're going to look at a spider's web of a system or a series of spider's web. And just to give you an example of that in terms of a logistics organization, I may have trucks with 5 different ranges. I may have trucks with 5 different charging options. I may have hydrogen trucks, batteries, hybrids, plug-in hybrids. Now, in reality, you just don't add up those complexities. You need to multiply them. So if you've got something like 5 complexities, you're talking 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. You're into huge numbers of complexity. And what we as a university want to do is work with you to really understand all of that complexity, what it means to you, and how you integrate your supply chain and your logistics systems into that complexity. But you'll need the data to do that, and you'll need to be able to analyze that data in real time to optimize your productivity. And I do think that is a bit of a revolution from what we've had in the past. Thank you.